Are you also someone who is struggling with Claude AI? You have heard a lot about Claude AI but haven't been able to try it yet? Then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Rishit Gupta. I work as an AI engineer, and today I'm here to help you out with Claude AI. We'll talk about basic things of Claude AI, like how to chat, how to summarize things, and go to advanced level like Claude Cowork and Claude Code. So if this feels right to you, then let's get started with the video.
Let's start with the very basics. What is Claude AI? Claude is a large language model which is a type of AI trained on huge amount of text and code so that it can understand your message and generate a human like response. So people use Claude for a lot of things like writing, coding, text chat, and Q&A, and something that's new is artifacts, design, shareable projects that you can create. You can even do AI automation, like something that you feel is repetitive during your day. You can automate it with Claude AI. We'll look at all these things during the course, and it will be very interesting for you. I think 2026 is being going to be very big for Claude AI, and everyone must know this skill of using Claude AI. Let's see how we can use Claude AI. You can head over to claude.ai and you will be prompted with a sign up option. You can sign up with your email address, phone number, and then you will be shown this screen, which tells you that you have logged in into Claude successfully. And if you want to install Claude, you can head over to this download button right here. And what you will see is that there is the option for downloading it for desktop. So you can install this, and a desktop app might look something like this. So this is the desktop app that we have for Claude, and you have multiple things that are not present in web version. So it's recommended that you use the desktop version. This is the chat interface for Claude. Now I am on the desktop version, and let me go clockwise and try to explain you what all functionalities does it provide. So on the left hand side, what you can see is a collapsible sidebar icon which you can just toggle and you'll get a clean interface. You have the search icon to take a look at your past history of messages. Then you have multiple options here which we will discuss later about co-work, code, projects, artifacts, and everything. Then at the very bottom you have options for settings, change your language to whichever one you prefer. You can view all the plans that Claude provides. You can get apps and extensions, and you can log out as well. So if you click on get apps and extensions, you will see that Claude can connect anywhere with Excel, PowerPoint, in your terminal, VS Code if you are a developer, right? You can even install it on your mobile. You can install it on Chrome, right? It provides all these things. Now we'll come to the elephant in the room, that this chat interface that we have in front of us. Let's simply query it, then ask it like, hey Claude, who are you, right? Let's wait and it will answer us. Yeah, hey there, I'm Claude, AI assistant made by Anthropic, and it gave you this answer. And it does even ask a follow-up question that, what can I help you with today, right? So this is the basic interface of how Claude Chat. When you ask questions to Claude, how does it respond back, right? Let's try to understand a couple of options that you see right here, right? You have this plus icon. Let's say if you want to add a file or something like that, to understand, like you add a PDF, and basically that PDF will be read by Claude, and it will give you a deep explanation of whatever questions you asked regarding that PDF. You can add it to a project which we'll discuss later, skills, connectors, right? But right now what is important to us is that these three options, you can do deep research as well about a particular topic using Claude. You can do web search. You can add styles as well. So web search, talking about web search, like there are situations when the memory is cut off for Claude, right? Let's say it was only trained for January 2025, but with web research you can do research of the latest trends that are happening today, or the latest news that's there on the web today. So let me give a query and help you understand that. So what's the weather like today in New Delhi, right? This is something that's happening today. So what it will do is that do a web research and then get you the results. So it gave me the results for today, like May 19th, and the temperature is 99.8 degree Fahrenheit, which is like extremely hot, and no rain is expected. So yeah, that's the thing. Yes. Let's go to a new chat and also try to understand that it can use styles as well. Let's say I only wanted to, respond in a very concise way, or if I'm learning, then I can go with learning. So these things are helpful when you want to consume less tokens. The thing with AI is that you need to make sure that you consume as few tokens as possible. Like consuming lot of tokens, that means you will be priced heavily. So you need to make sure that you use these things effectively, right? Now let's talk about the models that are available with Claude. So there are three main models as of now, as of May 2026. There is Opus 4.7, which you can use for heavy coding related tasks or very complex reasoning tasks. You can definitely go with this, and it will get the job done for you. But remember that it will consume more tokens, and it will cost you even more than these two models that are present here. Sonnet 4.6 is great for general tasks, like you want to do tool calling, you want to understand few PDFs in depth or image details and everything. It's good for regular day work, so you can use that. But let's say if you just want to do summarization, or you just have like very basic questions that you're asking to AI, so this is kind of the fastest and the most efficient model, which is Haiku 4.5. You can definitely use it. You can also toggle on and off adaptive thinking if you want your AI to think about what it's going to respond to. Then you can definitely turn this on. But otherwise, if you think that the query is very basic, then you can leave that turned off. There are previous models as well that are available. You can use Opus 4.6, Opus 3, Sonnet 4.5. These models are also available, and some of them are relatively cheaper than the current models that are available. So this is a gold mine. Like you can definitely check out these models in case you feel you want to save some cost. You want to make sure that your tokens don't get expired very quickly. So you can definitely try that out. So you can also use the speech option. You can basically hold on this mic icon and tell Claude that what you want to get done. So let me try that out. Hey Claude, what's the weather like in New York? And let me now use cheaper model for this. Like let's say Haiku, correct? So it will give me what's the weather like in New York, correct? So it gave the same results. So again, last time I used Sonnet, this time I used Haiku 4.5, and you see that the results are similar, but the Haiku model used less tokens, correct? So there is this incognito feature as well. Like incognito chats aren't saved in the history, but let's say if your admins are controlling your Claude interface, then you like admins will get to know. So in case you are buying a plan that is only for yourself, then you can definitely check out incognito chat in case you have some private discussions that you want to do with Claude. Yeah. So that's about Claude chat. Now let's move on to the next segment. Let's talk about projects and artifacts. Claude projects are dedicated customizable workspaces in Anthropic's Claude that let you group multiple things like related conversations, custom instructions, and references to documents in one single place. So let me now give you a quick example of projects. I'll head over to projects here in chat, and I'll click on new project. I can create a project. Let's say I want to talk about company details. This will be a project which will have a PDF document which will contain all the company details, and any employee who wants to understand how the company works, or what all policies are available, they can simply ask it here. So I'll keep it private for now, and I'll create a project. You can keep it org wide as well, so that's also an option. I'll click on create project. The project has been created, and now I can add in my PDF file. You can upload it from Google Drive, you can upload it from Notion, GitHub, and even add text content. But for now, I'll just upload from my device. Now this is the employee details that I have. So this is Nextcore Technologies, a random PDF that I've generated. It has company overview, working hours, compensation and benefits, leave policy, and a lot more things, right? So I'll just open this, and this will serve as context to whatever I'm going to have a conversation with in Claude. So I'll switch my model to a faster and more efficient model like Haiku 4.5. And now what I will do is ask some details like, hey Claude, can you tell me benefits in next support tech? See, it has listed all the benefits that are available in Nextcore Technologies, the compensation and benefits, leave policy, learning and development, workplace perks. If you see the document as well, what you see is that these things are matching with what it has mentioned, like 25 days of paid annual leaves, 12 public holidays, unlimited sick leaves, 16 week of paid parental leave, and all these things, right? Workplace benefits, learning and development benefits, right? So that's how helpful Claude projects can be. You can share it with your team members, and they can basically query it here. Now let's also talk about instructions. If I click on edit instruction, I can just simply replace it with that you are a helpful assistant, answer the questions in a concise way, and always remember to add a relevant emoji when you end a sentence. Ending note should be motivating, something like this. I just want to show that instructions also work when you add it to a project. I can save instruction, and what I can do is that now I'll again ask that question, and this time it will be using the instruction. So, hey Claude, can you tell me the benefits at Nexa Core Tech? So as you can see, it has added the relevant emojis, and at the very end, it has given a motivational quote that a company that invests this much in your wellness and growth is betting on your success. You got this, right? So this can be motivating to the employees. So something that can be added. But this was about the projects, and you can even share it with your colleagues. Like let's say you want to share it with external people, you can share email ID, and basically it will be shared with them. And even you can delete a project as well. So let's say I'm done with this and I want to delete it, I can simply just click on delete and the project will be deleted. Now let's talk about artifacts. Artifacts are a feature in Claude AI platform that turns AI workspaces from standard chat window into visual and interactive software environment. So let me show you how you can create an artifact. You can head over to artifacts in chat, and then you can click on new artifact. Let's say there are multiple options. You want to build an app or website, document or template, games, productivity tools, creative projects, quizzes or surveys, or you just want to start from scratch. Let me build a productivity tool. I'll just click on this, and it will ask me a couple of questions before moving towards a productivity tool. So what kind of tool do I want? Let's say I want a timer and focus tool. I'll just say this. Who is it for? It's just for me, I would say. Just you. And what's the core problem it should solve? It should tell me when to work and when to take a break. Yeah. Now it has listed down what it will build, and if this looks good to me, I'll just say that you can build it. I'll just say you can build it. The focus timer is complete. Now let's check out its functionality. It has given that these are the functionalities that are present. If you go to start, the timer will automatically start, and you can pause it. You can move to the next session that you want to rest up, or you want to go to work session. That's also possible. There are a couple of settings as well. You can increase or decrease the duration. Let's say I want to make it 20 minutes. It will go to 20 minutes, and I can reset the timer as well, I guess. I'll pause it, reset it, and yeah. So this is about artifacts. You can create visual interactive software UIs directly in your Claude, so that's helpful. Let's now talk about skills. Skills are reusable custom instruction packages or workflows that teach Claude how to perform a specific task. Let me give you a simple example of skills as well. If you come to customize and then you click on skills, you have a couple of skills that are available here. These are some of them that I have installed, but how you can install skills is by clicking on the plus icon. Either you can create a skill with Claude, you can write skill instructions, or you can upload a skill as well. So if I come to skills.sh, this is the place where I can find all the skills that are available to add it to Claude. So skills, as you know, are reusable capabilities for AI agents. You just install them with a single command and enhance the agent's output, right? So there are multiple skills. Like if you're working with Azure, there is skill for Azure. You have Versal React best practices. You have front end design skills. But one of the skill that stands out really well is Caveman is a skill that reduces the context on your file. So respond Caveman, all technical substance stay, only fluff dies. So this is a very simple thing that they have explained about Caveman, that you don't need to add a lot of fluff when you're responding. Just add it in a just say things out very normally, like how humans talk, correct? So let me show you where you can find this. So basically, if you come to this repository, you click on this repository and you will land up on the GitHub page. Search for where skills are available. You can click on skills and then you can click on Caveman, and then you will find a skill.md file. This is important to us. If I click on skill.md file, I can see the whole skill. Like there is this name, description of the skill, persistence, couple of rules, intensity, all these things are written in the skill. And it clearly mentions that this is ultra compressed communication mode, cuts down token by 75% by speaking like a caveman, correct? So I'll copy the raw files from here and I can come to create skill, write skill instructions, and then I can paste in the skill, write my description and skill name. So that's how you can add your skill. I have already added my caveman skill here, as you can clearly see. And how do I invoke the skill? So if I go back and do a slash command here and click on caveman, hi, how are you? Now it will respond in a very simple way. And same thing if I try it in new chat and just type out, hi, how are you? See, the message was long and it consumed more context, more tokens, whereas these things weren't actually needed, right? If I used caveman like before in my recents, if I go to caveman greetings, this is simple, right? This is what I actually want. You need to save on tokens and hence you save on your cost as well for AI. So I need a simple answer and that's what it gave. I can copy the response as well. I can give a positive feedback, negative feedback. I can retry as well here. Other things that you can see here is that you can edit this message as well in Claude. Caveman, hi, how are you? What's the date today? So something like this. This is something in addition to Claude Chat, what else you can do here. So that will help you. Yeah, doing good, focused. Today is Wednesday 20th, and what's needed. So yes, that's about skills. Moving towards Claude connectors. Claude connectors are built-in integration that link Claude to your external apps, services, and data sources. So if I head over to customize and if I click on connectors, what you will see is there are multiple connectors available. And let's say for Gmail, this connects Gmail to Claude to quickly find important emails and understand long conversations. You can even read emails. You can even draft some emails to your clients using this Claude connector. There are multiple connectors available, like you can even try out Atlassian's, Canvas, Figma, and there are multiple connectors available. So I'll share a very simple example in which I'll just take out numbers to understand what all emails are important to me today. Otherwise, I can also read emails, I can write emails, but since my email is confidential, I'll avoid that, but I'll definitely. Yeah, so this is the prompt that I'm giving, and let's see if it is able to get me the results. So you can see it is using the Gmail tool to understand the email threads, and accordingly it will respond back to me. Okay, so it gave the result as 2, and you can see the thought process as well, like it's not made up. You can see that it searched for the emails, it returned the count, it saw today's date and yesterday's date. Then you can see it even in more depth, that what all queries did it search, right? And then it gave the response as 2. So that's what you can do with connectors. Yeah. So comment down below and let me know when would you use connectors. Let's jump into Claude Cowork. Claude Cowork is an agentic AI assistant by Anthropic designed to independently execute multi-step tasks on your computer. So right now I am in Claude Cowork and you can see multiple options available here. Let's go to projects. In projects, like how do these projects differ from your standard Claude projects? In a way that these projects allow you to execute tasks directly on your desktop, right? If I click on new project, I'll be given with multiple options. I can start from scratch, import a project, or use an existing folder. So I'll click on use an existing folder, and I'll click on pictures folder. And in pictures, you can see there are 2 images present, and I'll just select this. Now I don't have instructions for now, and neither do I have files. So I've just selected this folder. I'll just create a project, and what now I can ask is that, so I've just asked that Claude, can you just rename the images based on what's present inside them? So I'll just fire off this command. Meanwhile, I'll just show you that what is actually present in those images. So if you see, this is image 1 and this is image 2, correct? And these are named as image 1 and image 2. So now you'll also see the ability of Claude to actually understand the images, and based on that, it will give the response back. So the task is complete. You can see that the image has been renamed. And if I see here, come towards desktop, click on pictures, image has been renamed to Lone Tree Sunset Ocean, and this one has been renamed to Porsche 911 GT3 RS. So that's how helpful this Claude Work projects can be. You can directly interact with your desktop and probably rename something, or you want to get some data from any folder, you want to organize something, right? You can perform that using projects. Now coming towards schedule, schedule is basically for scheduling a particular task, as the name suggests, and it only runs when your laptop is awake. If I click on new task, I can either create it with Claude, or I can set it up manually. So I'm setting it up manually, like you can add a name like daily briefing, and then you can add a description as well, that you need to summarize my calendar and inbox for the day. So you can check my Google Calendar for today's meeting and summarize my 100 emails, and this is what it can do. And you can specifically save it in a particular folder. Like you can work in a project that's there. So I added my emails project, and basically whatever my daily emails are coming up to me, I can save that in emails folder. And you can select a model as well, like Opus, Sonnet, Haiku, and then you can add the frequency as well. You want it to be happening daily, hourly, weekdays, weekly, so something like this, right? So I have created a folder. Just ignore the name. Somehow it's not editable right now, but otherwise what it is doing is that it is checking my yesterday's email for any messages and summarizing those emails and saving the summary directly as PDF in a particular folder. So I have added the folder as well, and what you will see that it ran the schedule when I clicked on it, and then after that it created the PDF, right? So now what you will see is that, so let me show you in PDF as well. So it gave a response that I don't have direct access to you, let me request for the access. And once it got the access, the PDF was saved in desktop emails, and the email summary of this particular date was saved. So let me show you, like inside this, if you go to emails, you'll see this email with a proper summary. Of course, I've blurred particular things because these are confidential, but otherwise you can see a whole email draft has been given to me. A whole email summary has been provided to me for a particular date. So these are few things that you can do with schedules and projects in Claude Cowork. And I'll talk about routines as well, which is present in Claude Code, which is definitely better than this, because this only runs when your laptop is awake. So let's say if you have something that needs to be done when your laptop is closed and you want to do it, hourly or weekly. So in that case, I think routines will be a better option. But this is what schedules can do for you. You can schedule a task and it will be done by Claude. Talking about live artifacts, this helps you create dynamic artifacts that stay up to date using live data from your connectors. So I have connected my Notion, Gmail, Asana, and every day what happens is that all the data that's present there, let's say whatever important emails I have, whatever I need to do for my, today's chores, that appears, and whatever is there on my, ticket list of my company, that also comes up to me. So basically, I have a whole summary of my day, telling me that what are my important emails, what I need to work on. Even my calendar invites are set up there. So I'm all set for the day when I use live artifacts. So I can see that clearly on my dashboard. And this is something that you can also experiment with. You can create a new artifact and add in your connectors whichever you require, and create a nice website or an app that you can refresh daily and see what all updates do you have for today. So talking about Claude Dispatch, what happens is that you can simply query on your mobile. Let's say you don't have your desktop near you, you can pull up the data from your desktop and directly get it on your mobile phones. So that is how helpful Claude Cowork can be when you use Dispatch. I have particularly not tried it yet, but this is very interesting. Like I didn't find a particular use case as such, but this can be helpful if your laptop is not near you and you still want to understand what is there on your desktop. You need to get some presentation details, you need to get some numbers pulled up. So you can definitely use Dispatch in that case. You can just simply pair your phone and you can and you can hand off tasks to Claude and pick up exactly where you left off. So that can be helpful to you. Moving towards Claude Code. Claude Code has two segments. One is routines and one is the actual Claude Code that you see here. So we'll first talk about routines. Routines are similar to how schedules work. Just the difference is that you can run it via API or webhook as well. So let me show you how you can create a routine. There are two options. You can either keep your desktop completely on and it can run locally, or you can schedule it remotely. So remotely would be much more beneficial, because even when your laptop is off or your desktop is shut down, you can use remote and it will run on the cloud servers. So you can name your routine, let's say summarize email, and then you can give instructions as well. You can select a particular model, you can select the environment in which it should run. Mostly tasks can be done with Sonnet 4.6. You can speak out a task, that's much more convenient. And you can schedule a task like this. You can run on a particular cron schedule, right? You can trigger it via API. Basically, if you are a developer, you can make a post request here, and like if you make a post request, it will automatically get fired here and the routine will start taking place. Then you can add connectors, like what all connectors should be connected for your routine. Let's say you want to summarize Gmail, then you need to add the Gmail node. You want to pick up something from Notion, then you should have that Notion connector added here. And there are certain behaviors and permissions as well. So if you require that, you can add it here. And once you do that, you can click on create. So I have a routine in place, which is summarize Gmail. What it does is that it summarizes the email daily which come today, and there is a Notion page called daily prep. So it is pushed into that, and I've given it the example that how it should be pushing the data, and what all emails are important to me. I have categorized that as well. So let me run it and show it to you. Like I ran it in the past. Let me so you can see there are multiple options. You can schedule it, you can do manual triggers. It is via API as well and webhook as well, right? So you can do that. You can pause it as well. So I paused it, but other than that, let me run it now, and it's running. You can see the run taking place. It has initialized a session. You can see the task has been complete, and if I go back to my Notion, and you can see that this daily prep page is there, and it has added this daily email summary with the relevant details. Let's talk about Claude Code. Claude Code is Anthropic's AI coding assistant that runs in your terminal and desktop, and it helps you read, edit, test, and manage code bases across your project. So right now I'm in Claude Code interface, as you can see on my desktop, and I have an application that's there. So this is a weekly report generator application that I've built to pull up closed tickets and closed pull requests from my GitHub and give me a report that these tasks have been completed in this week. So these cards that are present here, I would like to have some shadow behind these cards. It would look really nice. So let me go to Claude Code and ask it to fix it. So I'll just paste in a command. Can you add probably shadow Excel, which will be properly visible to the following cards that are pull request, contributor, feature, and bug fixes. Let's see what Claude Code has to say about this. Can you see now it is able to add the shadow Excel class to the card components which were part of metrics panel. If I go back to my desktop, you can see these cards have the shadow effect here, and even when I go to my code base, so let's say I was coding in cursor, now you'll see automatically the shadow Excel class has been added here. Now it added it here, so you can actually go and see that what all edits did it make. Specifically here, like you can see, it added the shadow Excel class in both the components. And the best part was it was even able to identify that where it needs to make a fix. It went to multiple directories and saw that metrics panel is where this pull request and all this data is available. So I can probably fix it from there. So you can even come here and add, files or photos. You can add specific folders in which you want to get working. You even have slash commands. So if you write slash, you have multiple skills that are available with Claude. You can use your own skills that the caveman skill that I discussed. There are multiple debug skill as well, which will help you debug faster. You can even go with doc skill. The final goal of the now it has this loop one as well that you can run a prompt or slash command on a recurring interval, and you can omit the intervals to let the model self-pace. So something like this. You have PDF skills, and these are a lot of skills that are there. So this is definitely going to be part of a separate video in which I can discuss about this. If you're interested, then do let me know. I'll definitely make a video on this as well. Yeah. So these skills are really powerful. If you get good with it, you'll definitely get better outputs with Claude Code. And then there are accept edits. You can accept particular edits. You can go on plan mode. Basically, plan mode will help you first plan out all the things for a project, then jump onto coding, like how real software engineers work, right? You can even bypass permissions, but it's definitely not recommended. Like you always make sure that Claude always asks for your permission before making any change. That way, it can be much more secure environment. Yeah. Even you can talk and give the instructions. And in this case, when you're coding, mostly try to go with Sonnet models or Opus models, because these are specifically made for coding. Like if you are doing a very lightweight task, then you can go with Haiku. But in my opinion, like going with Opus is kind of the best option there because it's specifically meant for that. Sonnet for medium to light tasks, like it can handle that. But otherwise, try to go with Opus 4.7 or 4.6 based on the amount of tokens you have. And that's all for Claude Code. You can definitely explore more in Claude Code. There's a lot to it, but I wanted to keep it simplified for everyone to understand what's the purpose of Claude Code. Let's talk about Claude Design. Claude Design basically helps you to create prototype of your apps, create slide decks, and create a template out of your brand guidelines. So you can head over to Claude AI/design and you will land upon a page like this. You can create a new prototype by naming your project. Then you can select a design system. If you have built a design system from template, you can certainly use that. That will have your brand guidelines, brand color, fonts, and everything. But as of now, I don't have that. I'll just keep it as none. And I can choose between framework or high fidelity. So the difference between both is wireframe will give you a low quality output which only has elements present of any device. However, high fidelity will give you a UI which is rich in experience, and it will also have buttons that are clickable, and you can get a real feel of the application that you're actually building. And after you add a project name, you select a design, you select high fidelity or wireframe, you can just create your design. And if we check out slide deck, in slide deck you can name a project, and again you can add speaker notes as well at the end, so that it can read your brand guidelines, and based on that it will create a slide deck for you. Okay, so if I come to my design, by the way, Claude design takes about 5 to 10 minutes to actually work. So I have already created a design with a prompt, so we'll just take a look at it. So if you see that I have given a simple prompt that design a modern mobile onboarding flow for a sports and fitness app, right? I've given it some instructions, and it is a hi-fi design with interactive prototyping. Now what you will see is that it started its work, and what it did was that in like 5 to 10 minutes it was able to complete the work, and it gave me certain design files, which is onboarding.html, and then it had sub components as well, right? So I can go to onboarding.html, and you can see the high fidelity UI that it gave me. I can click on get started. It will give me multiple options, like what should I actually select. Let me select this. And can you see how the experience is really smooth? You can even select what are you starting with, right? So you can see the UI is also smooth, and it built that within couple of minutes. So that's very interesting. So let's see what else it can do. I can click on markup. Basically I can select a particular element, then describe the suggestion that I want to give. Let's say I want to make this bold, or change this workouts to workout plan. So basically I can mention it here, and it will change it. I can send it to Claude, I can add comments. Basically on this whole UI I can add multiple comments and then send it to Claude, and it will fix the change for me. Now I can edit as well. Basically, let's say if I'm on this, I click on track every win, and I want to change the font. So I can change the font like this, right? This is similar to how Canva and Figma works, right? I can change the font size, color, line height, everything, right? Padding, border, right? Same goes for other elements as well. Wherever you see, elements present, you can select that and basically change the, properties of that. You can hide tweaks as well. Let's say, so here what you see is that these are the tweaks that are there. You can change the color of the whole application to multiple colors. You can have progress bar, or you can't have progress bar. So these things are also available. So comments are also there. Maybe you or your designer are working on a project, then you can definitely share some comments. You can send it off to Claude as well to fix those. But one-on-one interaction that you want to have with your designer, you can have it here. There is size as well. You can make it 110%. Then you can see things clearly, right? You can share this project as well. You can click on share, and then anyone you want to share with, you can share it, and you can export as PDF, download as zip, send it off to Canva. You want it as a standalone HTML. That can also be done, and you can hand it off to Claude Code as well. So basically this design will be converted to code as well if you send it off to Claude Code. So these were few things that are present in Claude Design. You can definitely explore more and understand what Claude Design is all about. So you can, as I mentioned, you can create a prototype, slide decks, create your own template of your brand guidelines, and then make it follow, the design. And yes, that's what Claude Design can do for you. You can also check out some examples as well. There are a lot of examples that are present. Maybe if you want to check out a couple of prompts that are there, you can definitely try that out. Yeah. Let's now talk about couple of settings in Claude. I can head over to this option in sidebar and click on settings. You'll land upon this page. Now let's take a look at each of the settings one by one. So this is for avatar, is basically for rotating your avatar profile picture. You can have any profile picture as you like. You can have your full name, what should Claude call you. You can have a different name, by which Claude calls you. You can describe your work as well. Let's say you are into data science, marketing, That way Claude can answer things better. Let's say you are into a non-technical role, so it might not give answers that are very technical. So that's one thing. This is a Claude instruction file. You can add some things like ask clarifying questions before giving a detailed answer. That way Claude will ask you a couple of questions before answering any of your query on the chat. Then you have some system preferences. You can keep it dark mode, light mode, or based on your system. You can have chat font. There are a couple of fonts available. You can select those. Voice as well. You can change the voice as well. You can have voice speed. Then there are a couple of notification options that when the response is completed, do you need notification when it gets completed, because we are often busy with a lot of things on our desktop, and while Claude is working, it can run in the background and notify us when the task gets done. Same for code notification, code permission request. You will get a push notification when Claude needs your approval to run a command. That is mostly when you are coding, right? Then you can even get emails when your Claude Code finishes the work. You can dispatch a message as well, so that's also possible. Then in your account, you can basically log off from here, or if you have you have a session that you want to log out from, you can log out from here, but otherwise you can log out from all devices right from here. Usage is something that is important. You can see your current session, how much percentage is used in that. You can see your weekly limits as well for all the models. So Claude design is not part of the request that goes to all the models usually. This is a separate thing that's there. So you can use it that way. Like I created that fitness app, so it took me 12% of its limit, and it's not counted in the other chat things that I do. Then you have routines. So routines, the Claude routines that I talked about, you can have a separate limit for that. That is like 28 routines can run in a month or something like this. So yeah. Then you have capabilities like you can search and reference from previous chat. You can generate memory from the chat history. That's also possible. You can allow Claude to remember relevant context from your chat, and memory includes your entire chat history with Claude. So you can even import memory from other AI providers. Let's say you are on ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google, Gemini, right? You can import all that history, and that way Claude will better answer you based on whatever things you have said in the past. Then you can load tools when needed. You can also tell it that tools are already loaded. So tools are basically the connectors that we are talking about: Gmail, Notion, Asana, Notion, GitHub, right? All those. Then you can do connector discovery as well. Let's say Claude find out that this connector would be beneficial for the chat that you are doing, so you can use that particular connector. Then you have artifacts, the artifacts that I talked about, live artifacts, and visual and UI friendly things that appear on Claude apart from chats, that also you can enable or disable. Some inline visualization that it does with charts, diagrams, and directly in the conversations, that's also you can sometimes enable or disable based on the type of conversation that you're having. Then we have connectors, so it has been moved to customize. We have already talked about it, that all the connectors are basically external tools that AI client like Claude can use to understand the requirements that you have said in chat. Let's say you wanted to read an email, you want to draft an email, you can simply do it from Claude using these connectors. Then you have Claude Code settings. Claude Code, as we saw, you can change the theme, interface, transcript text size, all these general settings that are there. Anything important from this would be only beneficial for those who are actually coding and into tech. So let me know if you want a detailed video about this, like proper Claude Code explanation. I'll definitely do that for you. But otherwise, these are more developer focused and not for general audience. Yeah. Cowork has global instructions and dispatch in their settings, and you can even add instructions specifically for Claude Cowork so that it works properly in sessions, or you have some things that are repeating always. So you can share that here, and it will always take care of that. Yeah. Then there are some desktop settings. You can run on start whenever your desktop starts, so Claude will automatically start up. You will have quick access. Access shortcut could be tap option twice, option plus space. Then Claude will trigger automatically on your desktop, so you don't have to go to the app, open it, and then do it. Something like Siri, you can also speak to Claude from anywhere on the desktop. You can have a shortcut like caps lock, custom, something like this. So this can be helpful, like you just want to have a quick conversation with Claude without even opening. So that's also possible. You can always show menu in the menu bar. You can always show Claude. So that's possible, and you can keep your computer awake while Claude is on a scheduled task. So yes. Now there are some extensions. You can browse extensions like skills, connectors, plugins. These are external things that are connected with Claude. So you can definitely explore this and add it in your system based on the chat conversations that you usually have. If you need external tools, then you can add extensions. And let's say if you are a developer and you are using MCP, then this is the place. You can come on to developers and you can edit the config, and you can add the MCP configuration over here, right? In the extensions as well, you can see that Claude has built-in Node.js and Python scripts like these, so it will automatically use its default one when it sees that your Node.js is missing from your desktop. So this can be helpful for those who are developing, who are working with MCPs, and I have like added two MCPs with the edit configuration, and it is similar to how connectors work. It's just that it's specific to developers, and they can add their MCP configuration and connect the external tools, which are not directly available via connector. So you can see something like that. So you can think in that way. Yeah. So yes, these were all the settings that are available with Claude, and that's all for this section.